Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of JD's Wildcat World. We are back in the winner's circle as the Cats win against Mississippi State by a score of 90-77 and move to 13-3 on the year and 3-1 in conference play. And I'm just going to get right into it as the Cats did last night. Great performance from the jump. The first half came out red hot. Antonio Reeves comes out firing, ends with 27 points, and I didn't feel like this game was ever in question. After the hot start, I know opening up the second half, Mississippi State went on a little run, but other than that, I thought that the Cats had this one pretty well in the bag just off of their hot start. You know, before the game started, I was a little worried. I think I picked the Cats by 8 points or 9 points. I don't remember exactly, but I thought it would be a little bit closer than it was. I was very impressed by the performance coming off the loss at Texas A&M to come out and take care of business early. And, you know, I've been saying all year, I think I'm in the minority here, but I think we can play defense. I just think it definitely has to get better, and it got better that first half. The first half was the best defensive half of the season, in my opinion, from the Cats. Only gave up 29 points to a Mississippi State team that can score the ball and that can defend. We dropped 47 on them in the first half. So the team kind of told on themselves, as Coach Cal said in his press conference. They can defend. I've thought it has been there all year long. If you've heard me say that I think we can defend when we want to. We go spurts. People forget the first game of the year, and I know it was New Mexico State, but we only gave up 46 points the whole game. And then the Miami game jumps out as a period of that second half. Man, they could not score against us. Those are just a few examples of why I think when this team focuses on defending that they actually can. But we'll see if it continues to get better. I thought the pick and roll defense was a lot better last night. They made a little tweak on it where they were looked like they were hedging more over the screens and on the switches. So that was awesome to see. No, Mississippi State didn't really abuse us on the pick and roll. I knew Tolu Smith would be their guy. I said that last week during the preview. He had 26 and 8. He's just a very good player, very solid player. I think he'll do good in the NBA as well. But luckily last night, that's really all they had. We held Hubbard to 1 of 11 shooting, 1 of 9 from 3 and 3 points. He lit Tennessee up last week. So, you limit their offense, and then you have offense like ours, but the game was never really in question. Of course, we had that 18-point lead at half. They actually outscored us in the second half, but we go on to win by 13 points. Like I said, Reeves, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. And I want to say, shout out to him for that. I think he's shooting like 87% from the free throw line. Shepard's at 85%. Feels like Rob shoots the free throws pretty well too. So this is a very solid free throw shooting team. We went 23 of 27 last night, 85%. So hopefully that's not an issue going forward. Trey Mitchell even hit 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He struggled a little bit earlier in the year from the line, but he had a great game. Didn't miss a shot. He went 5 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from the 3-point line, and with 15 points. Rob Dillingham, 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, and ended with 16 points and 4 assists. Aaron Bradshaw, want to shout him out for his actual offensive presence. He had 3 fouls, but 11 points, 6 boards, 2 blocks. Very good, very solid game for Bradshaw. Probably the best he's played since the last little bit of the Florida game. It was good to see him get back on track. Stepped out, hit a few mid-range jumpers, missed both of his 3-point attempts, but I'm good with him shooting it from outside. Both of the ones that he took were good shots. They were open, just did not fall. So I'm good with him taking that. I think as the year goes on, he'll probably take less and less, but when we need it and it's open, I'm all for him pulling a three. And I definitely love his mid-range game. His mid-range game is kind of a secret. It don't really seem like a lot of teams are defending it that well. But when he's in the mid-range, I'm perfectly fine with him shooting the ball. And DJ Wagner, 3 of 8 from the field, only 7 points, 3 rebounds, missed 2 threes at the end. That would have gave him 10 points, but he missed both of them. 1 of 4 from the 3-point line. Didn't shoot any free throws. Hugo, 3 points, 4 blocks, 6 boards. That's about as good as you can play for what we need him to do in 17 minutes. And, of course, it goes without saying, Reed Sheppard, 6 assists, 9 points, 2 boards, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 of 5 from 3. So he shot more, still only shot 5. I'd still like to see him have more than 5 shot attempts, but I'm sure that will come around. He's doing what he can to put his teammates in the right place. I want to take a minute and, we, on this podcast, I'm 100% strictly a fan, and I'm giving you my opinions. And I'm not going to crush our players. That's just, I've said that from day one. I'm not that kind of person. When I watch the games, and several of you that listen have watched games with me, or, see what my thoughts or ask for my thoughts during the games. And, but the whole Justin Edwards experience, I've got to be careful what I say here, because like I said, I do not want to crush the kid. I want him to succeed probably more than anybody in Big Blue Nation. I really do. I want him to pull through for multiple reasons. One, I think we're going to need him in March. I think we're going to need him to put up 10 to 12 points one game in March. I really do. Or maybe even in conference play. But that time is going to come that we need him. And right now, we can't depend on him. And we really need that to change. He only played 16 minutes, only had 2 points, also 2 turnovers, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And, he's got all the potential in the world. It feels like that he's 1 or 2 plays away from just completely breaking out and doing what we need him to do. And what I thought he was going to be when he came in. As you all know, if you listened, he was preseason, like in one mock draft, was projected to go number 1 overall. So I think it's mainly all mental right now. I hate it for the kid, but, I've got confidence in him, just like Coach Cal does. Coach Cal is starting him every game. He's leaving him in there to play. Granted, when he makes mistakes, he's coming out. But, he's sticking with him. So if the coach is sticking with him, I think us as Big Blue Nation have to stick with him too. We just need him to get better and find it quick. And hopefully that happens very soon. And he's shown flashes. He's had good games. He's done good things. But he's also not done the greatest. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not crushing the kid. No, I want him to succeed more than anybody. But, there's going to come a game where, maybe we're in foul trouble. Or maybe, I know it's hard to believe or hard to see right now, but maybe we aren't hitting shots. That we're going to need him. And I'm hoping that he can step up. It's been over half a season of hoping. It's basically my point in all this. So we need to see, need to get him at least close to the level of these other freshmen. He don't have to score it at a crazy clip. We don't necessarily need that. We just need him to come in, rebound, and put himself in the best position to succeed and for the team to succeed. And right now, he's just not really doing that. So let's stick with Justin Edwards. Every time he scores, every time he gets the ball and does a good thing, man, I'm up cheering because I know I want it so bad for him, and I know Big Blue Nation does too. So just keep cheering him on, and hopefully the breakout will come soon. We can be hopeful. So, we held Mississippi State to 9 of 27 from the 3-point line, 33%. That was huge. We didn't shoot it that well, though. 7 to 23, 2 away from where I want to be. I want to shoot 25 to 30 a game. But we shot the two really well, 55%, going 30 of 54. That was huge. And, it felt like we could, from the opening tip, we could get to the rim or to take a mid-range whenever we wanted. And that was really strange, honestly, because Mississippi State coming in was known for its defense. Chris Jans, their coach, emphasizes a lot on the defensive side of the ball. So it was really great to see us drop 90 on that defense. We go to Starkville later on in the season. I expect a fight, a dog fight. I expect it not to be as easy as this game was. We go at the end of February. And I'll have my eye out for that game because Mississippi State will definitely be out for revenge. We're going to have to bring our A game to win that one. But overall, very impressed with last night's performance. As I said last week, I think we have a chance to go on a little 5 to 8 game win streak right here. And especially if we play like we did last night, I'm very confident in that. With that being said, we welcome in Georgia on Saturday at 6 o'clock on the SEC Network. And this is not going to be an easy game, just like Mississippi State was not. No matter how much we got up, Mississippi State was trying to fight their way back into the game. Did so at one point, but we ended up pulling away in the second half. But Georgia will be more of the same thing. They are also 3-1 in the SEC, 13-4 overall, and they have a guard, Abdur Rahim. I watched him against Tennessee. He can flat out stroke it from 3. We are going to have to shut him down. That's the number one. I don't think we'll shut him down, but you've got to limit him. I should rephrase that. He's a very good scorer. Can take it to the rack or pull up from 3. He hit some crazy shots against Tennessee. But I think that's the number one key in this game is limiting him. I watched also... I think it was South Carolina they played. I watched the second half of that game, played well in it as well. And they've got several transfers. And this is a completely different team from last year. And I will say last year they beat us at Georgia. I remember that game very well. I was in Gatlinburg watching it in a cabin, and I was furious. Ruined my vacation. Not really ruined it, but it made it. It made me want to get out of the cabin and not watch any more basketball for the rest of that day. But I'm saying that because we don't need to let that happen. I get this is at home, so we should fare better, and we're better than we were last year as well. So I'm confident in this game, but this is a team that is sneaky. They're going to come out. They're not going to be intimidated. And they're definitely not going to lay down. Even if we jump out early, they are not laying down. This is not a team that will do that. It's a very talented squad. I think this is a tournament. I think Georgia's a tournament team. I'll go out and say that. They don't really score the ball that well, but they defend. They defend their butts off, and that's what they're going to try to do to us, similar to Texas A&M. The way they play, similar to Mississippi State, they're more of a defensive. They lean on their defense more than their offense. They only average 75.5 points a game. But, Abdur Rahim is another one. And I will say, Damari Jr., he only averages 9.2 points a game. He's like their 5th leading scorer, but he is an athlete. He can get to the rim very easily. He can dunk it on your face. He is a guy that I think will also be a big factor in this game. I'm not really worried about their inside presence. Shewa, he averages 6.6 boards a game. He's a really big guy, really muscular, but I don't think he's going to hurt us on the offensive side of the ball. He might hurt us rebounding. We're going to have to box him out because he does go after boards. But as far as him hurting us on the offensive end, I do not see that happening. Could be totally wrong, but I just don't see it. And I will say on Damari Jr., he's also averaging 1.5 steals a game, so he's a good defender. And we'll see how that goes. But I think the main people you're trying to shut down is Abdur Rahim, Damari Jr. I will give a shout out to one of their other guards, Noah Thomason. He's a senior, 6'4", and he's shooting 36% from three. But if we could get him at the free throw line, that would be good. Only 63%. But he is averaging 12.4 points a game. He didn't really jump out to me on tape like these other guys did, but Abdur Rahim, I think, is your number one focus. I think he's the guy that can make or break this game from being super close to them potentially giving us a close call, or if he's off, potentially us running away with it. So we'll see. They come in, like I said, 3-1 in conference. They beat Missouri, Arkansas, and at South Carolina. Lost to Tennessee. They should honestly be 4-0 in conference. They had Tennessee beat at home and gave up the game at the end. I watched most of that until our game started on Saturday. And, they let it slip away at the end. So this team is very capable, and I think we will for sure have to bring it. Thing is, we're pretty dang good too. And with Antonio Reeves playing the way he is, scoring the ball at the clip he's scoring it, I felt a lot better about us than even before. I mean, he dropped 27 last night, and it didn't even feel like he had 15. I mean, he gets them quietly, but I think we need to appreciate his greatness more. I don't think Antonio gets enough credit. Maybe just because this is mainly a freshman-laden team, but we do have Trey Mitchell and Antonio Reeves, but I think Reeves deserves more credit than he gets. He keeps playing like he is now. I mean, you're going to have to give the dude credit. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. I'm looking forward to getting revenge on Georgia. We haven't played them since they beat us last year down there. So it's always good to beat the teams that beat you the prior year or the prior matchup. And I think we do that Saturday in Rupp Arena. I've got the Cats by a score of 94-81. I like the Cats by 13 points. We'll see. That would be another good performance, solid performance. Could I see Georgia playing us closer than that? Definitely. We'll see. For MVP, call me Captain Obvious, but the way he's playing right now, I just touched on it. Antonio Reeves is my pick. He's just on a heater right now. He's on a heck of a hot streak, and we need him to continue this on into February and March. Definitely March. So we'll see. But I like the Cats by 13 points. Good statement win. And, hopefully we're back after that, recapping a big win and looking forward to a road game at South Carolina next Tuesday. Now, that will be a tricky one. We lost down there. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we lost down there as well last year. And South Carolina is a lot better than they were last year. Luckily, we are too, but that's always a tricky game down there. Seems like wild stuff happens at South Carolina. Memories go back to Coach Cal getting threw out, them hitting a half-court shot to beat us. Just crazy stuff like that. So that'll be an interesting matchup as well. But for now, we're looking forward to Georgia. And I think the Cats will get another win and win their second in a row in front of a home crowd. I think the crowd will be good on Saturday. Saturday, 6 o'clock. Granted, we do have more weather coming in. As you all know, if any of my local listeners here in Kentucky, the whole state is supposed to get more snow tonight into tomorrow. So we'll see if that impacts it. But I think, Big Blue Nation will find their way to Rupp Arena. So thank you all once again for listening. I do want to say real quick, I had pushed for, I had posted some things and mentioned it on here, that the Florida post-game show was very close to becoming my most streamed episode. And thanks to you all, we have hit that. The Florida post-game show is now the most streamed episode of this. So thank you all so much for that. The post-game shows seem to really get the most listenership, looking at my numbers. So, I could see a scenario in which after a win on Saturday that I do a post-game. We'll see. You all let me know. I do love the post-game Saturdays shows just because also, especially when you play Saturday, Tuesday, it's easier to get them done right after the game. That way you have 2 days for listeners to listen to them before the next one. So we'll see. You all let me know what you think. I know a lot of you enjoy the post-game shows, and I enjoy doing them. The game fresh on my mind. I mean, I'll go for immediately, I answer my messages, make my phone calls, all that for all the people that really care about the Cats, and then get right into it. So we'll see. You all let me know what you think, and as always, go Cats. Continue to listen, like, share, subscribe, and rate and review on Apple and Spotify. We're at the listenership numbers where I think we should be getting added to Amazon Music soon. I'm very hopeful for that in the future. So continue listening. Continue doing everything you all are doing. I can't thank you all enough. And as always, go Cats. And this has been JD's Wildcat World.